screw, as I said, Bravos make. That's $70. Wow. Okay. So that's $70 plus $20, which means we're up to $90 already in terms of the value.
All right, guys. Hopefully, I'll build this channel back up. Right now, I'm watching a unboxing from Badger Airsoft. I'm trying to get back into this. And for some reason, I'm like addicted to these unboxings. I like this guy. Of course, he says he's trying to get back into airsoft. He doesn't claim to be expert. I don't claim to be an expert. It's just one thing that kills me, and I want to know if it bothers you guys too. If you ever get tired of hearing him say, this bad boy, why is everything a bad boy? Or why do they always say, it's got good weight to it? Here's the thing. From the title of this video, and I'll keep this short and sweet, and you guys can come and watch it if you're still subscribed to me, or even if you want to watch it. But the pure and simple fact of the matter, not every AR platformed rifle, whether it be real steel or whether it be airsoft, is an M4. Let me mute this real quick. All right, an M4. M4 is a military specification of a rifle of 16.5-inch length barrel. Anything below 16.5 inches is not an M4. It's considered a commando or a car. Anything above that, like a 20-inch, is an M16. M16A1, A2, A3, and there are different generations of that rifle. Not every airsoft AR pattern rifle you pull out of a box is an M4. For the love of God, please stop calling them M4s. Here's the thing. Only 2 people in the history of those rifles has ever made a rifle designated an M4. It was Colt, who has done it for almost 60 years, and then FN Herstall, probably about 25 years ago when they took over that. Now, Colt reserves the right to call anything they make for the civilian market an M4. All right, FN Herstall does not have that right, even though they have the military contract. It's up to the military to call it what they want. But Colt can call a civilian rifle an M4. Nobody else can. And here's another thing. Even though all AR pattern rifles, we refer to them all as ARs, which is kind of like, Keith, you're being a little bit of a hypocrite. Maybe so. But there's so many of them, what else are you going to call it, right? AR stands for Armalite Rifle. And he pulled one out, and it was a Stoner rifle by Knight's Armament. And he's like, it's an M4. No, it's not. And he goes, ooh, Stoner rifle. And he flashes up Cheech and Chong. Eugene Stoner is the designer of the AR-15. Before, when it came out, was the AR-10. And the military wouldn't accept it. And I'll leave that up to you to Google all that. But the AR-15 is a nomenclature that is owned by Colt. No one else can call it an AR-15. That's why if you go to a gun shop and you buy a Spike's Tactical Type AR, they'll call it model ST-15 or PP-15 or whatever 15, but never AR. If they do that, Colt's going to sue the living daylights out of them. So that's why they don't call every AR an AR. We just call it that because that's the pattern. Just like an AK-47 might be an AK-74. Most people say AK-47. But it just kills me at all the airsofters that think every AR pattern rifle is an M4. It's not an M4. And I was watching an unboxing. Guy goes, please don't let it be an M4. And he pulls it out. He goes, oh. And I'm like, what are you crying about? It's not an M4. It's a ST-15. It's not an M4, bro. You know, you might not want an AR pattern rifle, but you did not get an M4. So that's, I know. I'm just old and grumpy. You call it whatever you want. That's why it's called being an American. I'm just saying that's just one of the things that gripes me about airsoft is, and some of the things they say. Some guys will review, goes, oh, this is just like the one the military issues. The only standard military issue small arm rifle to a regular soldier is an M16. I think at my time, when I left, it was the A2. They could be issuing M3s or A3s. But right now, the primary battle rifle for a soldier is an M4. 16, or actually, it's not a 16-inch rifle. 16 and a half inches of military. I take that back, a military length. A civilian length. All M4s issued to the Army are 14 and a half inch barrels. That's it. So they're either 14 or right at 14.5. And that's giving you the shoulder for the flash hider. But a lot of other things you see, and the thing of it is before you do a review, it'd be great if you research it a little bit. But the whole point of airsoft is this stuff is coming from Japan and China, where they're not allowed to have real guns. So they don't know. So they'll label it M4 on the box. That doesn't mean it's an M4. It's because these Chinese people and Japanese people don't know what an M4 actually is. They've probably never held one, probably never shot one, because they would go to prison if they even looked at one, probably. And that's why the BB's is a 6mm BB bullet, you know. So you got to take it from there. But I've seen some really cool stuff now. I'm still blown away that the high cappas are so expensive and so popular. In my time, they were a dime a dozen, and everybody hated them. They couldn't stand them. Glock got a resurgence in the real world when the Glock Gen 3, when Glock's patent ran out on their design, which allowed a bunch of other makers to come out with Glock pattern guns. And again, Glock is a licensed trademark. So now Palmetto State Armory makes the dagger, the PSA dagger. And it is basically nothing more than a Glock 19 Gen 3. And they started coming out with all these new slides with the cuts and the cool stuff. People started buying the living daylights out of Gen 3 Glocks. It got to a point where you couldn't pick one up for a decent price because they were modding them. And now with airsoft, it's become the same thing with the high cappas. And the high cappas, they're coming out with all these aftermarket parts, and guys are sitting down in their garage or their bedroom, and they're building these really cool airsoft guns. So now the high cappas have gone up in value. I was watching C7 Viper. I really like him. And he had bought out a couple of airsoft stores. And he had gone to Polar Star, and he saw a box that said Sistema M4 Challenge Kit. My day, they just came out. And the Sistema Challenge Kit was amazing. It was very expensive. But now it's considered vintage, like me. So, guys, give me a little while. I think I'm just going to find me a good Boneyard AR and build me a really good Boneyard AR-15. I think that's what I'm going to do. So if you know anybody out there's got one cheap, and I mean cheap, holler at me, let me know. Thanks a lot. Later.